Hey guys, how's it going? And today we have another awesome video. Basically, the new Fortnitemares has come along. We have an awesome skin here. We've got the new contrail, if you will, and we have the fully upgraded Calamity skin, as well as the Ghost Portal from the Skull Trooper skin when they brought that back. Now, this is really cool. We've got so many things happening in this update. We're dropping Salty Springs, but it does kind of get a bit iffy at the start. Basically, what are the big things that are happening? One of the three big things that are happening is you get these stone pillars. These are the big pillars, okay? You get these little ghouls that you can come around. The small ones most people shoot at, which makes sense, but you can actually hit them with your pickaxe. And as you can see, I'm trying to kill this guy without taking any damage, but apparently I am taking a heap of damage. So I'm just sort of like, you know, maybe not take this fight. We're taking way too much damage here, and we can't really fight off these bigger fellas right here. So it's not an efficient way to do it, but it is possible to go ahead and beat them with your pickaxe. Other than that, those are the big pillars, and you'll see there are some smaller ones along the outside. And generally, if you're wanting to get a chance to find a legendary monster, one of those big fat guys, yeah, they can be legendary. And what happens when you kill those is you get a legendary item, either a chug jug, a weapon, or something that you can use in game. But what I would highly recommend is going ahead and using the crossbow to take out these ghouls, goblins, whatever you would like to call them. Now you cannot do damage to the pillar with your crossbow. It's only effective at taking out these ghouls, and believe me, look at this, it just annihilates them. Another thing that has changed is I've actually moved my sensitivity up to 10, and you may not even care about that, but I've found it very, very beneficial. And if you guys are on a low sensitivity, try to learn how to use 10. Like, really stick with it, and make sure you can try and get closer, as close to 10 on the x-axis as possible, because that's really, really nice to play on. And I'd recommend maybe going 9 or an 8. Probably an 8.5 probably be my lowest that I'd go with the 10 on the x-axis. But they are definitely well worth it, because you can turn on people like nothing else. And once you get sort of comfortable in it, you get good at getting to the end. Sometimes you can even like try and throw in the 360, because I mean you can't do that with a lower sensitivity. You'd have to build way up, and you can actually 360 on the ground with this sensitivity, which is why I like it a lot. We're going to go ahead and grab this quad crusher maybe and dip right on out of here. But we have quite a few cool things. You got the cubes as well. They haven't come out with a porter rift, if you will, because we had the jump pads, and they were from season 4 with the hop rocks, and now we have these cubes, and I am quite interested to see how they work that out. And another thing they've done is they've changed and stopped you from doing skips. So as you saw, when I took the dark crystal and then used it, and I jumped through one of those big like gushes, the big volcano pits, if you will, it doesn't allow you to skip along and go really, really far distances. They've taken that out, although you can actually do that with just your normal self. So you can, if you're gliding in, you can actually do that, which is kind of nice that you're still able to do that, although they've made it very, very difficult to be done. So I guess you can't really do that anymore in terms of your average player. But we've got a shotgun now, that's good. Sort out our inventory. I can see my mate is really low, so I'm going to grab that chug jug for him. Trying to get the minis down the hole. And like stuff it, whatever. Block it in. And then we'll build up to him. I don't have enough mats though. I didn't realize that till now. Yeah. But by the time I actually get the mats and then start to head up the mountain and over to him, he's already at me, so that doesn't matter too much. But yeah, those are the big points that you have in that, as well as the challenges. Now, there are a couple of cool challenges. Now, the one I was struggling with the most was finding the gargoyles. Now, that isn't... Now, what I thought it was dancing in front of the little golem things that come out, the rock monsters. I thought they were the gargoyles that you had to dance in front of, sort of taunt them as you're playing the game. But unfortunately, that isn't the case. What you have to do is you find these little stone pillars. One is located in Haunted Hills. One is located in Retail Row in the Ghoul's shop. And the one in Haunted Hills, that's located on the castle, in the center at the bottom. And then, of course, you have a couple of other areas, which I'll leave up to you to find. And it is a lot of fun hunting them down and trying to find out where they all go and are. Now, one thing I have been trying to learn to use properly and effectively is the dual pistols. I've actually been doing pretty decently with those, but one thing I would say is once you switch to like 10 sensitivity, you'll prefer the tactical shotguns, because that wider reticle makes such a big difference in terms of hitting your shots, because when you're on 10 sensitivity, it's just really important to hit your shots, because if you're not hitting the shots, then what's the point on being on 10 sensitivity? Because you can build fine, you can build nastily, like really good, but then when it comes to actually shooting the player, you can't actually shoot them, and mats eventually run out, and the goal here is to kill the player as quickly without using as many mats as possible. So, another thing that they've added in is the revolver. So you've got the crossbow and the revolver, but the revolver has taken a different form this time. The revolver is basically, it's called the 6-shooter, and it is really, really good. I like it a lot, and I feel like all my friends hate it as well as the crossbow. I like these two guns. I'm really happy that they brought them back, because I seem to be doing bits with them. And crossbows, I like it. It's completely silent. The only thing that you could hear was that there's no bullets there, really. It's really difficult for people to track you down and try and kill you. And you could take some pretty tricky shots with it. You could also get some headshots, you know. Muck around with it. It was a lot of fun because you didn't have any ammo to waste. It has its own, because it's infinite. But the one thing it does have is a really cool green contrail as it flies over. Now, these guys are going to have to push towards us. That's why I wasn't too worried. And just fire a crossbow at them. Don't have to worry about ammo, which is good. And I mean, with a Scar at this range, you'd probably have to wait and stand still, get that first shot accuracy. So it's not the greatest to be using that in this specific situation. Take that sneaky shot right there. Try and save them up. Bop, bop, bop. As you can see, it is a little bit difficult to aim quickly, but I mean, it's not too big a difference. Another thing that you can do is, and that's how these guys got to us so quickly, is it's basically soaring 50s. So if you're in solos, it's basically soaring 50s in solos. I love it so much. You don't have to, you don't take full damage basically from a certain height. The higher you are, less likely you're going to take full damage. You've got people that build sky bases now, which is really, really, really annoying. But I mean, you can shoot them out and then they jump on you and you die, basically, because you're going to be on low health. But I'm basically just describing exactly what has happened to me every single time I've found the person with a sky base. I've been on the most minuscule amount of health, and then they just pop out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, shoot down the sky base with the heavy sniper that I've spent the whole time scavenging for, and then they go ahead and land on you right after and kill you, and it's really, really annoying. But here we go, and that was my mate who kind of cut my shot, my line of sight, and that RPG just managed to sneak its way through and got lasered by the other teammate. Unfortunate, but that is it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and what is going on in the new Fortnitemares season update. I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.